Just Stop Oil protesters targeted Wimbledon but have been sent a message ahead of the British GP. Just Stop Oil have been warned that protests at this weekend's British Grand Prix could result in a catastrophe, after Day 3 of Wimbledon was the environmental group's latest sporting target. SW19 fell victim to protesters on Wednesday as Court 18 was interrupted twice as orange confetti and jigsaw pieces were thrown as the court was invaded. There have been fears that a similar protest could take place at Silverstone on Sunday, after last year's opening lap saw several spectators storm the track and sat down before being dragged away by marshals as drivers sped by, which led to 7 arrests. British stars such as Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris have already pleaded for there not to be a repeat of last year's protest, while former F1 driver Johnny Herbert has claimed that they could cause a catastrophe by joining the drivers on the grid, but he expects protests nonetheless. "I am sure there will be protesters hanging around," Herbert told King Casino Bonus. "But they would be very stupid if they do go on the circuit. If you want to protest, do it outside the circuit. Do not put a foot on the circuit. The risk to drivers, to themselves and to the spectators is massive. You could have a catastrophe." Mercedes driver Hamilton said that he would welcome protests such as Just Stop Oil but has asked for them not to risk endangering themselves or others by attempting a repeat of last year. He said, "I welcome protesters or activists. Always they are pushing for positive change. We never want to see people standing on the track and putting themselves in harm's way." Protests spark conversation, that sparks dialogue, and it often helps. Sometimes, done the right way, it sparks change. And we need more change. We need to become more sustainable. We need to be more inclusive. There's all these things that we need to do more of. It's moving at such a fast pace, the industry, that sometimes some of those things fall off and they need to be sparked up again by conversation. So I hope we don't have the same scenario that we had last year. But as I said, I'm always supportive of peaceful protests. Fellow Brit Norris echoed Hamilton's concerns, slamming potential protesters as selfish for risking the health of the drivers on the grid. "Of course, it is a concern because it's a stupid thing to do to put your life in danger with cars driving around," he said. "It is also a very selfish thing to do because of the consequences it could have on the person that drives the car. Everyone has a right to protest, and I guess there are good ways of doing it and worse ways. I just hope people are smart enough not to do it. There are much safer ways to get just as much attention."